Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 23rd October 2024. So let's get started with our discussion, and today there are many articles which are relevant from our examination point of view, and we are going to cover each and every article which is relevant from your UPSC point of view. Okay, see this first article guys. See the title. Modi meets Putin, offers help to end conflict. So what is this article is talking about? This article is talking about peace or end of war between Russia and Ukraine. And in this Russia-Ukraine war, so this article is talking about India's role. It is talking about India's role. Okay, so now from which subject point of view we can say this article? From GS paper to IR. Next, from GS paper 4 ethics. Because in ethics you will be having a topic called as ethics in international relations. So there we will be discussing about war, whether war is ethical or unethical. Whether war is ethical or unethical. So from that point of view you can see this article, and especially have to focus on what is the role of India. Every country is having its own foreign policy, right? So foreign policy is nothing but the guiding principle of that country, like how they have to maintain the relationship with another country. So till now in this Russia-Ukraine issue, it is more than like 2.5 years it had been started. But from this 2.5 years, India don't want to interfere in this Russia-Ukraine crisis. But recently, our Prime Minister, he visited Ukraine and he gave help, and even India changed its foreign policy that we are going to involve in this peace process between this Russia-Ukraine as well. So in this context, you have to see what are the highlights of PM Ukraine visit. So please revise those highlights of PM Ukraine visit. And even now, our foreign policy had been changed towards even Russia as well. And India said that we are going to even offer help to resolve this issue between Russia and Ukraine. Okay, so because of this, it is very important topic from your mains point of view regarding changing of foreign policy. So whenever you're talking about this foreign policy, it is not at all static. It is not at all static. It is going to be changed based on the situation. So if you are getting any question regarding the foreign policy of India regarding Russia-Ukraine crisis, you can add this change which happened in our foreign policy. Now we are going for even mediation of peace between Russia and Ukraine. Okay. Now let us see this article in detail. So our Prime Minister, he met Russian President expressing India's commitment to restore peace in ongoing Ukraine conflict. So where they met? On the sidelines of BRICS summit. Okay, so here if you are writing any answer regarding what is significance of this BRICS summit which happened in 2024 regarding Indian foreign policy, so how you can answer this question? How can you write an answer? Come on, you may get question on this for sure in this mains, because we are also resolving the issue between India and China. That is yesterday's article, and this one is even we are going to involve in this peace process between Russia and Ukraine. So because of this BRICS summit is very, very important. Okay, now let us see some important facts which gave in this article. Yes, now this BRICS summit which gave an advantage for India and Russia for the diplomatic engagement. So Modi and Putin meeting underscores India's active role in global diplomacy, and especially we are focusing on mediating and as well as facilitating peace process. Okay, so this is one important thing that you have to remember. And next one here is we also focused on commitment to peace. So actually whatever the long-standing foreign policy that we have, and we are focusing on non-violence and as well as dialogue. And even you can add about our recent Prime Minister's statement, whenever we are having conflicts, rather than going for warfare, we can use diplomacy and dialogues. So again, we are using this thing. And this one here is, if you're talking about regional stability, by addressing this West Asian tensions, so Modi also focusing on India's commitment to regional security and also India's role as a responsible global player in this conflict resolution. So as you all know that why India is now moving towards peace. So what might be the reason? So till now, India do not take any stand, and even in United Nations Security Council also, India abstained from voting regarding this kind of resolution. But why there is a sudden change in foreign policy of India? So why? What might be the reason? We have an issues with? Not exactly. Why? You want peace? Why? Uh, anyone want peace? So if we want peace, so we can, we might be taking steps at least like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. But why we didn't took any step? And even in United Security Council also, whenever they passed resolution, we didn't sign. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi is not present right now. Mm. Why? Mm-hmm. Tell me, Ravi, Monica. So because of India's increased role as leader of global South. Okay, next one is, here we are also focusing on humanitarian focus, especially we gave some humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. So can you tell me some examples of what are the steps taken by India to provide humanitarian aid in Ukraine? Okay, Bhishma cubes. What are these Bhishma cubes? Okay, so there is a high chance of getting question regarding this Bhishma cubes case in your prelims. And this one is, we are also focusing on bilateral cooperation. So do you know about Indians who are working in the front line of Russian army? So what is the update regarding that? What is the update? Indians who are working as a front line soldiers in our Russian army and fighting against Ukraine. How many? 12 members or 8? So how many members went from India into this Russia to work in army? So more than 50 people, but they identified only 8 and they said that we are going to send them back. What about the rest? And we also had talks on this releasing of Indian nationals who are working in Russian army as well. So in this, we also this meet very much helpful for ensuring of citizen welfare of our country. And this one is, do you know recently the BRICS had been expanded, and the expansion of this membership, which symbolizes that yes, there is shift in global power dynamics, and especially we are focusing on multipolar world, and we need to increase our influence for emerging economies. So which are the countries which are newly added in this BRICS? Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, UAE, Saudi Arabia. Okay. And you have to see this image, guys. So what is this image is talking about? Huh? Tungabhadra Dam. Okay, Tungabhadra comes under which river system? Himalayan or Peninsula river system? Okay, Tungabhadra is a tributary of which river? Krishna. So in which state it flows? Uh, uh. So this dam which is built in which state? Tungabhadra Dam? Very good knowledge, Rohit. Okay, so if you are getting this kind of, huh? Okay, only K in your mind. It may be Jammu and Kashmir, right? Uh, okay. So here, actually in 2019 or 2020, there was a question on this Tungabhadra Dam. So if any image which comes in the news, yes, that will be very important for your prelims point of view. So here, what are the dimensions you have to see is, You have to see about two things. First one is about river Tungabhadra, and second one is about Tungabhadra Dam. So can anyone say about what is the alternate name of this Tungabhadra Dam? It's also called as any other name of dam, Tungabhadra Dam. No idea? Karnataka guys, AP guys. Okay, so let us see some facts regarding this dam. So, now tell me. So Tungabhadra Dam is also called as Pampa Sagar. So you may get a question like, consider the following statements regarding Pampa Sagar. So don't confuse. This Pampa Sagar is nothing but Tungabhadra Dam. So it is a multi-purpose dam which constructed across river Tungabhadra, which is one of the important tributary of river Krishna. And this dam is built near a town of Hospet in Karnataka. Okay, it is very, very important. This dam is in state of Karnataka. And this is a joint project of erstwhile Hyderabad state and as well as erstwhile Madras presidency. So even before we got independence, there was agreement between this erstwhile Hyderabad state and Madras presidency to construct a dam on this river. And finally, it became a joint project of Karnataka and AP after its completion in year 1953. Okay, so what is the capacity of storage of this Tungabhadra reservoir? It is about 101 TMC. So there is no need of remembering this number. Just for your knowledge, I added this point. And the dam is about 49.5 meters and height is 33 crest grades. And it has about, 33 gates are there. And height of this dam is 40.5 meters. Okay. And let us see some facts regarding this Tungabhadra river. So it is one of the major river in our South Indian peninsula. It comes under part of Peninsula River. So whether it is a east flowing river or west flowing river, east flowing river. So east flowing rivers they join in Bay of Bengal. Okay. So here you have to see origin of this river where it had been originated. So the name Tungabhadra. So these are two rivers and they join and they form this Tungabhadra. Okay, so because of this, the name of this river is Tungabhadra because it is formed by the union of two rivers, Tunga and Bhadra. So both of these rivers, like Tunga and Bhadra, they originate in this western Ghats and they will move towards east and they will join in this Bay of Bengal. And two rivers, they merge at Kudli. It is very important. So you may get question like Tunga and Bhadra, they meet at which place? It is at Kudli in Karnataka, which gave birth to the rise of Tungabhadra river. And here there is also one more chance of getting question, that is, which of the following are the tributaries of Tungabhadra? And they may ask again right bank or left bank to complicate the question. Okay, so major tributaries are Vardha river, Hagri river, and the river which has several dams and reservoirs built on it. So even you can get a question like, consider the following dams, identify which are the dams built on this Tungabhadra river. So you have to know those dams also. The first one is Tunga Anikat Dam, next one is Bhadra Dam, Hemavati Dam and Tungabhadra Dam. So these are the four dams which built on this river Tungabhadra. Okay, so these are the facts that you have to remember and try to map this Tungabhadra river on Indian map and you have to see where exactly the tributaries are coming and joining and through which state it is flowing through. Okay, see this article guys. IMF retains India's growth projection at 7.5% for financial year 2025. So what this article is talking about? IMF, it is talking about India's growth projection. That is, it is predicting about India's GDP, how it will be in financial 2025 and it is saying that 7%. Okay, so what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to see about IMF. So what is IMF guys? International Monetary Fund. So when it was formed? When it was formed? So do you know this word Bretton Woods twins? Bretton Woods twins. So examples of these twins. World Bank and IMF, they are called as Bretton Woods twins. So when they was formed? 40? After? See once again. 44 or 45? Don't use ChatGPT, okay? No, Google. Okay, so why it had been formed? Britain Hood wins. Yeah, Great Depression of. So what is the important function of this IMF? What it will do? Yeah, it will BOP crisis. Whenever any country is facing BOP crisis, they will approach this IMF so that they will be getting help from IMF. So did India went to this IMF at least once? In which year? 19? 1990 or 91? Okay. So did IMF helped India? So in return, what IMF asked? To come up with LPG reforms, liberalization, privatization, globalization. Okay. So why IMF is giving this prospects, economic growth prospects? Why? And how it will be useful? So why IMF is giving this kind of prospects? Development and okay, capacity. Okay. So how these projections will be useful for a country like India? So here IMF said that yes, India's projection is 7%. How it will be useful for India? Uh, so what is the importance of this kind of prospects? Yes, it will help to attract investments. Next. Come on, why data is important for you guys? Why you will be seeing previous questions? Huh? So how this data is useful? Why? Why we need this kind of data? Only for investments? Yes, future? For okay, we can analyze the next vote. So it will be helpful for policy making and fiscal policy, monetary policy, everything. Next. Okay. So see about this World Economic Outlook. So IMF will be releasing this report called as World Economic Outlook. So whenever you're getting any report or indices in news, that will for sure you will be getting at least one question in your prelims. They'll give simple question like, recently World Economic Outlook is in news, which organization releases that report? So already it had been asked in your UPSC. Okay, so here IMF maintained its June growth rate projects for India in its latest World Economic Outlook report. Okay, so here the expected growth of India is 7%. So here you have to see what are the problems we are facing in our economy. So here this part, they said about global problems and as well as the problems which are related to India. So you have to see exactly what are the problems in our global economy and what are the problems in our Indian economy separately. So tell me about global economic problems. Global economic problems. Huh? Okay, trade disturbances. Next, protectionism of USA, trade wars between USA and China, and next, global recession. Uh, Next, economic problems. Inflation, global inflation. Okay, so now tell me what are the problems in our Indian economy? Unemployment, poverty, hunger, malnutrition. Next, less amount of private investments, less research and development. Next, what are the other problems? Okay, write down the Indian problems and global economic problems in a chart so that whenever you are getting any question regarding economy, you can try to write the answer. Yeah, see, very important article. What is it? What is there in image? What is that image? Huh? Spider. So what is this? How many legs the spider will have? 8 legs. So it will, whether it will fly, spider, it will crawl. This is flying spider. Okay, so this is flying spider. So as of now, you know that it will only crawl, but this is the flying spider or jumping spider. So title says that 3 scientists discover a new genus of jumping spiders in South India. The name of this class of jumping spider is Tenkana. So here you can get a question like, recently Tenkana is in use. What is it? And in options they'll give a new genus of frogs, new genus of spiders, new genus of snakes, new genus of like butterflies. So it is belonging to jumping spider. You have to remember this. Make a note of this. Tenkana is jumping spider, and it identified in South India, especially in Karnataka. In Karnataka. Okay, from where you will be reading this article from? GS paper 3, environment and ecology, not science and technology. Okay. Okay, so what are the points? Okay, so they are arachnologists, not scientists. Okay, arachnologists are the people who will study about the spiders. So this group of people, they discovered a new genus of jumping spiders, and the name given was Tenkana, and it was found across South India. So already we had 2 previously known species belongs to this family, and we got 3rd new species of this family, and that spider which got the name called as Tenkana Jaimangali. Okay, Tenkana Jaimangali. Or they can give question like Tenkana Jaimangali is in use, what it is. Recently identified spider in Karnataka. Okay, now let us see some facts that you have to remember. So the establishment of this Tenkana genus, which is given to this jumping spiders in South India, which will makes us to understand that we need further research in less explored region. That means, so till now only we identify 3 species of this jumping spiders. Why can't more? So here, if you're going for further research, further funding from the government, we can identify many species who belongs to this jumping spiders in less explored regions. And even we can utilize genetic analysis so that we can go for good classification of this species, so that we can understand that we can use some modern techniques in taxonomy. Do you know what is this taxonomy? So at least tell me scientific name of humans. Homo sapiens. Okay. So how we came up with that name? So Homo sapiens belongs to the order called as primates, right? So here taxonomy is nothing but the place we stand in our genetic formation. So here the genetic studies is very important to make the proper using of taxonomy, so that we can place that organism in that order. And this one is, even we have to give the preference to this habitat as well. So mostly here, especially South India, which is very much rich in biodiversity. So why the South India is rich in biodiversity? Because of Western Ghats and because of Western Ghats. So here, especially when we see this jumping spiders, they find in only South India. That means even ecological adaptations are very important. So as you all know that spider only crawls, but how these spiders they started jumping? Because they are also adapting to the environment. So we can understand about ecological adaptation will be very important. We have to understand them, why these organisms are changing or adapting to the environment. So that if we know exactly adaptations of this ecological regarding animals, then we can go for proper conservation strategies in changing climate. For example, earlier snakes used to have legs, but now do the snakes have legs? No. So if animals which are living in a very blind, very dark regions, there is no need of using of eyes, so they will be losing the eyes. So that thing that you will be studying in your evolution theories. So here, whenever we know about this ecological adaptation, we can make proper conservation strategies according to the changing climates now. And even we can understand the cultural significance of this new species whenever we are giving name. So we are using certain name, right? We are selecting certain name. So here Jayamangal is nothing but the river. That means whenever we are giving the names based on the local region or the local tradition, so people will appreciate that. So that we can also ensure cultural significance in naming of this new species as well. Okay, and even if you are talking about the conservation of these animals, we need international cooperation as well, because you see that India is sharing boundary with many countries, so that animal will not only present in India, so it will be having tendency to cross border of India, right? So they don't know like we should not cross this border like humans. So if we want to focus on the proper conservation of these animals, we need to have even international collaboration. We need to use the scientific research of other countries as well, and we have to go for promotion of knowledge sharing. Clear? Okay, see this article. India, Pakistan renewed their agreement and Kartarpur corridor. So this article is very important. So what is this Kartarpur corridor is about? Kartarpur corridor. To which religion it belongs to? Kartarpur corridor? Sikh. Okay, so who is the father of Sikhism? Guru Nanak. Okay. So where is this Kartarpur corridor located? Uh, in which state of India? So tell me, what is the meaning of corridor? So you might have heard about this elephant corridors, tiger corridors. What is the meaning of corridor? Not reserve. Corridor means, okay, how many of you are from rural areas? Okay. So in rural areas, if you're going to your fields or anywhere, so whenever the people they are going on that route, every time you will be saying that there will be no trees or plants in that way. That way is clean. Yes or no? On either side we will be having trees, etc. So that is called as corridor. Corridor is a way that created by animals. That is, for example, if it is created by animals, it is called as animal corridor. That is a way used by the animals like elephants to move from that place. For example, tigers, if they are using, that is called as tiger corridor. So how we know that that corridor is made by those elephants or tigers? By the footprints and as well as by the fecal material that we find there. So here this corridor, it is for movement of people from India towards Pakistan, especially during some religion and during some festival. That is called as Kartarpur corridor, and the name which got Kartarpur because we are going to connect the two shrines. One is in India and one is in Pakistan. Okay, so that is called as Kartarpur corridor. Okay, so why we need international agreement now between India and Pakistan? Why we need this kind of agreement? Uh, because of uh, legal backup. Okay, regarding what? For the safety of people. Next, hmm? Maintain peace between two countries during this religious festival. Okay, so this article is important from your international relations from GS paper 2, and even from your art and culture from GS paper 1, and even from history also you'll be studying about different religions, that too from ancient history point of view. From ancient history, from art and culture, from GS paper 2, from international relations, this article is very important. So now let us see this article in detail. India and Pakistan, they have renewed their agreement on Kartarpur corridor for another 5 years. So we are going to use this agreement for next 5 years. So this agreement is about allowing Indian pilgrims to visit Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara in Pakistan. So this agreement is about allowing Indian pilgrims to go to this Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara, which is located in Pakistan. And actually it said it is for 5 years. That means this extension is for 2029. And the important aim of this agreement, it is to ensure uninterrupted access for pilgrimages in Pakistan. Okay, so that is the one important thing. And if you see here, yes, we are going to have this renewal of this Kartarpur corridor agreement on the sidelines of this summit. And actually, when we are having this renewal of this kind of agreements, then what happened? We can maintain a proper dialogue and diplomacy between India and Pakistan, so that we will be ensuring the cooperation between India and Pakistan, particularly regarding religious pilgrimages. And even, yes, there are some financial barriers as well. The financial barrier is, if any person who wants to visit this Qatar, so they have to pay service fees of $20. $20 should be paid by Indian pilgrims to the Pakistan government if they want to go to this, because they are charging the service fee. So again, it is one cause of concern. Yes, whenever you're talking about this religious fee, so if you're connecting to the history part, like medieval or ancient history, do we have any pilgrimage tax? So what is the tax is called as? Any name of that tax? Jizya tax? Yes. So when this kind of service fee need to be paid by Indian pilgrimage to the Pakistan, is it right? No. Again, we have to focus on this challenge of financial barriers. So whenever we are having this kind of fees to be paid by a single person who wants to visit that place to the Pakistan government, will the number of pilgrimage can be encouraged? No, there will be decreasing of pilgrimages to visit to the Pakistan. So it is one of the important challenge in balancing the financial sustainability with religious access. So again, we have to remove this barrier as well. And this one is, what will be the impact on pilgrimage participation? So because of this financial barriers, so what happened, and because of the logistic issues, so there is decreasing of participation of Indian pilgrims in this pilgrimage. Okay, and here if you see the cultural and religious significance of this site, Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara, which holds a very immense cultural and as well as spiritual significance for Sikhs. And actually, so religious community, there is Sikh community, they have their own religious practices and they have their connection with the heritage. So because of this, even though India and Pakistan, they had been bifurcated in 1947, so at that time onwards, so Indian pilgrimage, they are approaching the Indian government to go to this Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwaras because of this culture and as well as religious significance. Okay. So if you are getting a question, yes, religious rights is a fundamental, religious freedom is a fundamental right in our country, right? In our constitution had been written. So whenever you are getting question like how we are ensuring the religious and cultural freedom of citizens, can you add this Kartarpur corridor? So India is having an agreement with Pakistan to encourage Indian pilgrims to this Kartarpur, yes or no? And even in this case of secularism also you can add this point, yes or no? Okay. So how the future bilateral relations will be between India and Pakistan because of this Kartarpur agreement? So we are going to have at least a hope of good relation between India and Pakistan. Okay, so that is the thing. And even you can understand about our government's commitment. Our Modi government committed to facilitate access for the Sikh community, which underscores that we are focusing on especially religious harmony, and we are focusing on support for these cultural practices, although we are having some geopolitical tensions between India and Pakistan. Okay, and see this map. Here we have this Kartarpur corridor. So this red color is India and Pakistan border. So this part is India, and here we have Dera Baba Nanak. This is a site, and from here we are going to this place that is Kartarpur, and this corridor is called as Kartarpur corridor. It is about just 2 kilometers from Indo-Pakistan border. Okay? Yeah, Indo-Pakistan. From this border to reach this, we have just distance is 2 kilometers, and here we have river Ravi. Indo-Pakistan border is not POK. And one more thing here is, here you will be getting a question. So which of the following river is passing through this Kartarpur corridor? That is river Ravi. Please make a note of this point as well. So POK, which is POK is present here, right? But it is present here. It not comes under this POK at all. So here there is also a chance of getting prelims question regarding this Kartarpur corridor. So Kartarpur corridor, which connects two shrines, as I said, one is in India and one is in Pakistan. One is Darbar Sahib Gurudwara, and next one is Dera Baba Nanak Shrine in India's Punjab province. And this agreement will facilitate visa-free movement of Indian pilgrims, and they just permit Indians to cross over Pakistan and to reach this temple only. Okay, so this corridor was built to commemorate 550th birth anniversary of this Guru Nanak Dev, who was founder of Sikhism, on 12th November 2019. So in 2019 only we got this. Okay. Yeah, see this article, Science and Technology. Yeah. India's fourth nuclear submarine launched with advanced arms. So what is nuclear submarine, guys? What is nuclear submarine? Submarines. Submarines. What is that? Okay. So this submarines, we have two types. What are there? Diesel powered, and next one is nuclear. So which is advanced in these two? Nuclear. So what are the advantages of this nuclear submarine over this diesel powered submarines? I want exact air propulsion system. About air propulsion system. Uh, uh, mm. So we have to come to the surface to get air. But in this case of nuclear, we don't want. So if it is coming to the surface at every time when we are using diesel, so it can be catched by the our enemy countries and they can fire that. But it is not in the case of nuclear. So can you tell me some examples of Indian nuclear submarines? INS, Rihant, next, Arigat, uh, next, Vikrant, next. Okay, so actually it is fourth one. So India's fourth nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine, which is referred as S4, which has launched into water at the shipbuilding center in Visakhapatnam. And this submarine is bigger and more capable than first submarine, that is INS Arihant. So here you can get a question regarding ES4. So S4 is seen recently in news. What it is? It is fourth India's nuclear submarine. So write down this S4. And your work is write about what are the features of this ES4, how it is advanced compared to that of earlier versions, like third, second, and first nuclear submarines. Okay, so or else make a note like this, guys. Keep heading nuclear submarines. Keep heading nuclear submarines. And write one, its name and its features. So make a tabular format like that. In your prelims, it will be very useful. So how you can get a question in your prelims is, identify the following pairs. So in pairs, they will give the name and they will ask important feature. And you have to identify which is correct pair. So sometimes they may change. For example, they gave the features of INS Arihant with this S4. Okay, you have to be very much careful. And say this article on Section 6A of Citizenship Act. What is the Section 6A and what is recent Supreme Court judgment on this? Mm. Mm. It is according to Assam Accord, right? So this Section 6A, which originated from this Assam Accord of 1985, it said that before 1971, that is Bangladesh Liberation War, the people who entered into India, they will be getting citizenship, right? So the one more criteria is 1966. So the people who entered into India before 66, yes, they will be getting citizenship. But the people who entered between this period, the condition is they have to stay in India for 10 years and they will be getting citizenship. And after this 1971, there is no provision of citizenship. That is according to this section 6A of Citizenship Amendment Act. So there may be a question. P? Okay, I think they're celebrating some festival, guys. I too don't know really. So members of all Assam Students Union lights map to celebrate verdict on Section 6A of Citizenship Act in Guwahati. I too don't know what is that PWD. Okay, so see this article, guys. Over the border line. So what is this article talking about? India-China agreement. So what happened in this India-China agreement? Okay, so from which subject you will be reading this? From international relations, from GS paper 2. So recently we studied that in our current affairs that we are going to finalize the agreement soon, so that we are going to resolve this issue of standoff across India and China border, which had been started from April 2020 onwards. And from that 2020 onwards, we had more than 33 level of talks, but there is no progressing of any negotiation. So finally, we are going to resolve this issue soon. So because of this, this is in news. So now let us see the important points which are given in this article. So this article is saying that China's recent agreement to resolve its military standoff with India. What is that place? L O C or LAC? LAC. What is LAC and what is LOC? What is the difference, guys? Line of control, line of actual control. So this line of actual control is between India and China. So here India and Pakistan. Huh? Enemy. Okay. So when this standoff had been started between India and China at this LAC region from 2020 April onwards. So finally, if you're going to have this agreement, can we call it as a turning point of relation between India and China? Yes. So although the deal aims to restore true positions pre-2020 levels, but again, there is a question that whether we are going to adhere that commitments or not. We don't know, like either India will be standing on this agreement or not, whether China will be standing on this agreement or not. So there is always skepticism which remains regarding adherence to this commitment. Actually, this agreement which opened doors for renewed dialogue and as well as cooperation, okay, particularly ahead of upcoming BRICS summit, but transparency and trust building is always a question mark now. So what is transparency? Ethics? Open? Okay. So the key points that you have to focus is you have to understand the significance of agreement. So this agreement which signals a potential thaw in long frozen relations. So I said the meaning of thaw. What is this thaw in international relations? Thaw. T-H-A-W. Thaw. Huh? Not solution. Yes, decreasing. So actually, if you are taking, for example, Israel and Gaza issue, so they will be attacking by missiles, and suddenly they will take break, and again they will start attacks. They will take break, attacks, and break. So whenever they are taking breaks, it is called as thaw situation. Okay, so it is very important. Even when you are reading words in your world history, also you'll be coming across this word called as thaw. Thaw is nothing but there is very low attacks. Okay. So now because of this thaw, now it is offering an improved dialogue. For example, if this issue or issue is going on, whether they will come to talk, no, right? So because of this potential thaw in the relationship between China and India, now we are going for dialogue and cooperation. So because of this, we can enhance regional stability and as well as economic collaboration as well. And it is very, very important that we have to take care of verification. So commitment to restore these two positions must be independently verified to prevent further escalation of tensions. So exactly in which areas we are going for de-escalations. We have to go and we have to verify clearly whether it is happening on ground level or not. It should be not only on paper always. And we have to go for transparency and trust building tool also. Yes, not only on agreement, we need to build proper transparency, and we need to also focus on the trust building. So especially international relations, how can we increase transparency and trust building between the countries? So even between India and Pakistan also we have many a times we had this ceasefire agreements, but always there are ceasefire agreement violation. Yes, in international relations, if you need to maintain ethics, we need to have transparency and trust building. But how? So you're IFS officer. Now tell me how you can increase transparency and trust building tool. Mm. Digital format. So if you're guarding borders, can you use digital form there? If you're guarding border, how you can use digital format for guarding of border? Come on, guys. Mm? Dialogues. Okay, next. Carrying of dialogues next. Okay, write down the question. How we can ensure trust building tools. How we can ensure trust building tools in international relations. So do this work and please let me know. It will be very useful for you guys. Okay, next one here is we have to focus on grievance also. So as you all know that because of this issue of standoff between India and China at LAC region that led to Galvan Valley incident. So what is this Galvan Valley incident? Do you know this? What is Galvan Valley incident? So there was clashes between PLA, that is Army of China, and Indian Army, and more than 19 soldiers they had died from Indian side. But we don't know the records of how many they died from China. So they didn't release the data. But from India, more than 19 soldiers they had died in this incident. Okay, so we have to address even historical grievances. So if you're having this grievance redressal mechanism, then only we can ensure the trust between these two countries. Okay. Yeah. And next one here is we need to be cautioned against overconfidence. Why? Because this kind of incidents which happened in earlier also in 2017, Doklam area had been occupied by China. So this area was the tri-junction of India, China and Bhutan. So at that time also they said that yes, we are going to de-escalate every situation, everything, and the issue was resolved. And again, as soon as this done, in 2020 they attacked this LAC region. We don't know if they are saying something that we are going to have agreement now, there may be a chance of attacking Uttarakhand, that is central sector, or eastern sector soon. So always we need to be very, very careful. Okay, we should not repeat the mistakes which we had in our history. And next one is what are the agreements we had. So we have to reassess these agreements and we have to come up with the new frameworks so that we can go for better management of border issues and we can ensure this peace and stability at this border. Clear? So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching and please do like this class and share this class to your friends and do subscribe to Rathods Science Academy. And thank you so much for watching.